Hey guys, today we are attempting the Wheelbarrow Beer Mile. Since no one's ever done this before, one of us is about to set a world record. Since we're doing this off-road, we plotted a course around the house, which is about 0.13 miles, so each quarter mile will be 2 laps. With that, here are the rules.
Rule number 1, 4 beers, 4 quarter miles. We're using Spotted Cow since we are in Wisconsin. The ABV is 4.8%, which is below the standard 5% for a beer mile, but we're making up the rules today.
Rule number 2, if you puke, you gotta run a penalty quarter mile. If you puke into the wheelbarrow, that's 2 penalty quarter miles.
Rule number 3, each beer must be finished prior to starting the next lap.
Rule number 4, the wheelbarrow and all the contents must be pushed for the entirety of each lap.
Rule number 5, all beer cans full or empty must remain in the wheelbarrow during the attempt.
Rule number 6, each wheelbarrow will contain 20 pounds of ice.
Rule number 7, if you spill the contents of your wheelbarrow, you must stop and attempt to put the contents back into the wheelbarrow before proceeding. And we're not going to be worrying about a single ice cube or two, but if you dump it, you got to refill it.
Rule number 8, if you can't get those contents back into that wheelbarrow, you get a DNF.
Rule number 9, fastest mile wins. All right.
Let's do this.
I can feel the vibration, feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. My first beer definitely did not go down that well, and I think it kind of set the stage for the day. Probably didn't help that we were out on the boat and had a couple drinks prior to the beer mile attempt.
Coming through the garage was one of my favorite parts. Another spot where you could lose some ice because of the little lip that was there, but ended up going smoothly.
We did a couple test runs with the wheelbarrows the day before, and they were bouncing all over the place.
I was expecting the beer to be a little more shaken up, but it wasn't really a problem.
Seems like the weight of the ice kind of smoothed things out.
The Spotted Cow went down so smoothly. Always my favorite beer. The Chug Zone turned out to be a highlight of the event. Shout out to Katie and the girls for their awesome artwork.
I can only imagine what the neighbors were thinking when they saw 2 guys pushing wheelbarrows around and chugging beers in the driveway.
So coming over the mound, there was a bump on the other side that I was worried each time going over I was going to end up losing some ice. It didn't really happen, but shortly after that there was a root behind the garage, so that was kind of the dicey zone out there. You know, stomach-wise, I started feeling a little full around the 3rd beer, but just kept pressing on, kept on chugging, and moving forward.
My 3rd beer definitely took the longest to get down. Felt like I was there drinking it forever. With each quarter mile being 2 laps, once I fell behind Kyle, my whole mindset was just don't get lapped. In the past, I've done a lot of beer miles and done them at a decent pace, but
if I'm gonna beat Kyle in the future, I definitely gotta work on my chug game.
And having the girls out there was great. They were really helping pace. They were moving quick, especially early on. You know, as the laps went on, they slowed down a little bit, but it was fun having them out there with us. I'm happy we did the Wheelbarrow Beer Mile. Definitely one of our, goofier videos. Shout out to Scott there, came up with this idea, so really happy with it. Thought it was a lot of fun.
I ended up running a disappointing 17:28, trying not to puke.
I came in at a 14:51.
And so, with that, unfortunately, I have to bestow upon Kyle the world record for the Wheelbarrow Beer Mile.
I did it! I did it! I did it!
So can you beat a 14:51?
Try it.